friends, welcome to Ansel. So today is the 81st episode in the biology series. So today we're going to discuss about one of the most remembered virus, and that is CoViD-19. One of the most recent pandemics ever. The first one in this century. Yes, the other big ones were just endemics. Meanwhile, the pandemic is worldwide. Meanwhile, just an endemic is just like in a country and surrounding regions, nothing else. Meanwhile, pandemics, they take over the whole entire world or a continent. Yeah, they're pretty dangerous. Yes. So first, how does COVID-19 even spread? And yeah, so COVID-19 spreads by, so it is mainly an air, it mainly moves in the air instead of like touch or anything. So for example, if someone coughs and if somebody goes into the cough, so the viruses in cough can stand there up to more than 2 hours. That means that air is contaminated for more than 2 hours. That means if you touch that air, some COVID-19 on my hands. Great. And then if you take that finger and touch your face with it, oof, the COVID-19 will enter your body. Now that's a lot of damage. You can prevent this from happening by literally doing a thing called social distancing. And then washing your hands after just meeting a person. Yes. And last and finally, wearing masks, which you could have done in the COVID-19 pandemic. But now it's not that much important. COVID-19 is pretty much dead. No one remembers about that. Yes. So now let's go into how it even got its name. So it has 3 main names. COVID-19, the short form. Next, SARS-CoV-2, the bigger version, and coronavirus, which is our nickname. Yes.
Coronavirus is the virus name. COVID-19 is the disease name.
Okay. So coronavirus is more like the nickname of the virus, as well as that also the non-official, that means just the official name of the virus species. Yes. So the COVID-19 is not just one coronavirus, but there are also other species of coronaviruses. Viri? What is there a word for 2 different viruses? Yeah, something. Okay. So first let's see coronavirus. So the family of a specific virus which has like this outside, its main outside is called coronavirus. So corona in Latin means crown, and look at this. It looks like a crown, right? So it got its name from the crown. So many viruses of this species are pretty infectious as well, but not as infectious as COVID-19, which is very, very dangerous and lethal. Yes. So coronavirus got its name from the Latin word meaning crown, which is corona. Yes. So that is for coronavirus, the word. Next, COVID-19. Actually, the O is a small case. So CO means corona. Okay. Next, V means virus. So the first 3 letters are just a shortened version of coronavirus. Next, so yeah, VI also. Okay, Y, the first 4 letters. D means disease. N19 is 2019, the year when the COVID-19 infection first started. And last and finally, SARS-CoV-2. Okay, so first, S in SARS means severe, A means acute, R means respiratory, S means syndrome. Severe acute respiratory syndrome. Next, CO means corona, and V means virus, and 2 means it's the second one of the family. That means there are 2 SARS-CoV. Yes. So the other one, the SARS-CoV-1 had an endemic like situation in like the 2009s, the late 2000s. Yes, at that time. Yes. In Malaysia, in that region specifically. Yes. So that is the reason for the names, the etymology for the names. So now let's see how it infects and how it kills people. More than 1 million people have died because of this infection. Yes. So now let's just give some more space for the diagram which we'll draw. Okay, so this is the human which the coronavirus will infect. This is the mouth region, neck. This is the worst drawing in humanity. Okay, so now inside the body, the throat and mouth, the palate. Okay, it's not completely accurate, but still, it's something. The lungs, yes. So if you see the name, the SARS-CoV-2, here R means respiratory. That means it will mainly attack the respiratory system, especially the lungs. Yes, that's why if you ever got the coronavirus and it was so severe that you need to go to the hospital, or at least you should have seen some images in the news that many people are in the oxygen and their O2 is run out. Why do they need this oxygen if there is literally oxygen in the air? The reason is, so it attacks the lungs, so it makes it hard for us to breathe, right? So because of that, they need ventilation to even breathe. They can't breathe on their own because of the virus, and now they can only survive with those ventilation. Yes, yeah. Okay, so now first, red is the virus color. Okay, so now first the virus enters. Even 1 liter virus can cause so much damage. So first the virus will go down here through the throat, next into the lungs. Now an enlarged view of the lungs. Okay, this is just one lung. So is the entrance. There will be many branches like that. So at the tips of these, there are small structures known as alveoli. We already discussed about them in the respiratory series. That means when we discussed about the respiratory system, but yeah. So these alveoli are literal bags of air, or like sacs, which allow respiration to happen. So without them, we can't even breathe. They're so important. Yes. So again, a last and final zoom in. Okay. So now we'll see some epithelial cells acting as walls, because they need a wall cells. And now there will be hundreds of cells which will just protect the alveoli from being infected. So normally, like outside the alveoli, in the empty space out in the lungs, there will be bacteria and stuff. Yes. So remember that. That is very important in this episode. Yes. Bacteria just randomly scattered inside the lungs, in the empty space of the lungs, not inside the alveoli or just the respiratory tract. Yes. Okay. So first, our virus just starts to enter, and it enters the bronchioli. Okay. And then it enters the alveoli. Yes, alveoli, something. So now the virus has literally came here. Now, when it comes to these epithelial walls, now a lot of damage will start to happen. A lot means a lot. Yes. So these viruses will start to attack cells. You know what happens, we already discussed about that. Okay, right? So now the cell becomes infected and lots more will become infected. So because cells are dying, the immune system will start coming. Yes. So now immune cells say hi. Macrophages, neutrophils, everything will come. Even like the killer T cells will come. Yes. So if you know one thing about the immune system, some things about the immune system, you will know that the immune cells are also cells. That means they can be infected by viruses, but only they don't. But coronavirus, it can infect these cells. So now, if it infects a cell, that immune cell will start to get confused. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Yes, this can damage the normal cells, the innocent cells of our human body. Meanwhile, if something bad occurs, that means if two important cells are just taken over by, infected by the virus, then havoc is wreaked. Because if neutrophils and killer T cells are infected, everything will just fall down, because they both are one of the most powerful and most dangerous cells of the immune cells of the human body. So meanwhile, the neutrophil, it already even normally just accidentally kills normal cells. Meanwhile, the killer T cell, it just doesn't misfire, but still it sometimes kills normal cells if something bad happens. Yes. So now, if they both touch cells, they will die. Any cell, innocent cells or not innocent cells, because they are now completely confused in the toxins from neutrophils, they'll start to kill cells. So normally, in a weak occurrence, you will start to get cough and just nothing else. You will get cough for a few months and then that's it. You may have some permanent breathing damage in the alveoli, but that it will retreat easily, because cells will come in, they'll just kill the virus and then go back. So the immune system will easily clean up everything. In an easy occurrence, the highest chance is that a person will survive. Yes. So next, what happens if the person does not survive? So the mortality rate is less than 50%. Yes, that means less than 50% of all people who get infected by this virus die. But how do they die? So they don't die because of the virus. So sometimes the damage could kill millions of epithelial cells, making a hole in this region. Yes, that means there could be literal hole in an alveoli sac. Yes, so that means bacteria will start rushing in even if the virus is not eradicated. Yes, and that eventually kills the body, because the immune system is already pretty damaged. It already killed a big wave of virus. Then bacteria and viruses of all kinds will just come in, rushing through a small hole, and from that small hole it can go into other alveoli, into the other lung, into our literal throat, and it can kill us. It's so dangerous if this thing happens, but still it's a pretty low chance of occurring. Yes. So yeah, this for today about the SARS-CoV-2, the COVID-19 virus, or the one and only coronavirus. So yeah, bye.